What's up everyone, John from ARTV. It's time for another installment in my top 10 countdown series, and today we're going to be taking a look into my top 10 favorite Kesha songs. Now, I will say this, I'm so excited to have Kesha back in the world of pop music. I think it's going to be a crime if more of her songs and singles go unnoticed off of her newest album, Rainbow, but I suppose that's a little bit besides the point. Not to get too off topic, but I really am happy to have her back and seemingly much stronger after all that she's been through with the lawsuits. And if you haven't really followed, you can look into it. I suggest Googling it, but I'm just happy to see that she's back and making music again. Now, I've been into Kesha's music since 2009, 2010. TikTok burst onto the scene and launched her career. Dr. Luke was obviously kind of the one that kind of played a hand in that, but turned out to be a big detractor in terms of her life and success with all of the lawsuit stuff. So it's interesting to see where she came from, and I do love that early side that she has where she shows off a lot of glam and a lot of sleaziness, as titles would imply. But at the same time, that whole kind of gutter trash type vibe that's so sleazy that you don't even care because you're just having fun had to mature into something more. I'm gonna cut myself off there and sum it up, because basically what I'm trying to say, I'm glad she wasn't just a one-trick pony. She didn't just have one hit or one album or anything like that. She's been consistent and she had a very strong comeback. I'm excited to see what happens in the future. These are gonna be my personal top 10 favorite Kesha songs. Be sure to comment yours down below, drop a like on the video, and real quick, let me give a shout out to some of the people that have been supporting me on TAD. All you have to do, download that second link in the description down below, watch ads, and every 500 TADs that you earn by watching ads on the app and transfer over to ARTV is actually worth 50 cents in a real life donation. So quickly, thank you to Tom Hiddleston's cat, amazing username there, Ripstar, and I really don't want to mispronounce this name, so I'm just going to put it up here on screen, but they have the Fall Out Boy crown as their icon, and of course, Austin Daniels. Thank you guys so much for supporting, and on with the top 10. Up first, we have a song that I think should have been a single from her 2012 album, Warrior. I think that she did a great job at selecting some singles there. Obviously, Die Young is fantastic, and I really just contemplated for a while. I was like, do I want Die Young or Thinking of You to be my number 10 pick? And I went back and forth for a while, ended up landing on this one because this is such a kind of middle finger, and it's typical Kesha in a way, but it has more of a stronger rock vibe to it. And I love the guitars and those pounding drums that really just have that loud snare to them, and they actually pop and crackle, and then that chorus just kind of soars. It's something that does mellow out because she's singing, obviously, Thinking of You, something that's maybe contrasting what she's talking about. She's saying, you know, I was down for you hardcore, but you were just looking to hit up every other girl out there. You were just looking to get laid. You were using me, so middle finger, chuck the deuces, and she's out the door. I love this track, and I think it's more of an empowerment anthem for her.
Don't let the bastards get you down. Oh no, don't let the assholes wear you out. Don't let the mean girls take the crown. Don't let the scumbags screw you around.
Imagine having to build yourself back up for the world to see after being just taken down and crushed, whether it be mentally, emotionally, or physically. It's something that you just don't even know where you stand with yourself anymore, but the whole world is watching and you have to put something to tape to explain what you've been through. Well, I feel like my number 9 pick, Bastards, does that perfectly on tape, and she captures the turmoil of the mind and what she's been through without getting too specific and pointing fingers. It's such a beautiful and monumental moment for her. It focuses on the acoustic, strips back everything else, and we focus on her voice and her talent as a songwriter. And Kesha Siebert is a very, very talented songwriter, has a knack for pop hooks, and obviously it runs in the family. Her mother, P.B. Siebert, wrote hits for a lot of the big stars, including Old Flames Can't Hold a Candle to You by Dolly Parton, which Kesha ended up covering on Deconstructed, and obviously on her new album Rainbow as well. But on this track in particular, I really feel like we focus and emphasize Kesha's voice, and that's something that suits her so well, because she talks about during the verses, especially the first verse, she's saying, this is what I went through. I spent so much time crying, and here I am just tired of wailing my eyes out. I'm saying, don't let this negative attention get you down. And I think it's something important to pass on to other people, her listeners and that sort of thing. And this song is super effective. Just an emotional train wreck in the best way, if that makes sense.
Shadows of a past life, wish I could rewind back to Wonderland, where it all began.
I mentioned in the intro of this video that I was happy that Kesha ended up branching out, and she went past kind of the just more energetic and fun feel of her debut, because she still captured that obviously on her follow-up album Warrior, but in particular I feel like she emphasized a more of an emotional tone and also fun in, I guess, a more mature way. And track number 8 is a slower one. It's Wonderland, and it features Patrick Carney of the Black Keys on the drums. It's a track that pays homage, I feel like, to the 80s. It has that pacing about it, and it's almost like a folksy sit down, like you're in the room talking to someone, and she's reflecting, and you can see like an organ flare on this one, and you can see a little bit of that guitar and the drum work. It's just so steady, kind of atmospheric, but it's down to earth. It's just like a human song is the best way to explain it. There's no real tricks on this whatsoever, and I love getting an insight into what Kesha sees. She speaks of friends and family here, talking about how she wishes she could rewind, go back to Wonderland wherever things were in perfect sync and harmony, but she knows and admits openly that she knows she's never going to get back there. But it's nice to see how this song plays out. It's just a gentle tune that I've always really loved. Oh, Kesha, you dirty girl, you. My number 7 pick is an unreleased one that leaked online in 2010, but it's always been a favorite of mine. It's called Mr. Watson. It obviously never got an official release. It was recorded during the Animal sessions back around 2009, early 2010 perhaps, and it's something that maybe was a bit controversial because it's Kesha singing about hooking up with her teacher, presumably whenever she was underage, kind of a taboo topic no matter whenever that song comes out. But still, I love it because it drips and oozes of Kesha and just that vibe that she was putting out, especially at that time in her career. It's like, yeah, maybe I'm a bit slutty, but at the same time, I don't care, and I own that, and I am empowered by that.
20 bucks and a switchblade knife, American medal with the devil inside. Daisy Duke showing off my ass, and when I walk past, get the boys whiplash. T-shirt tight, baby, need a ride. I'm the captain of this ship, so shut up and get inside.
Wham! Bam! Thank you, man. Get inside my fucking Gold Trans Am. That's Kesha with Gold Trans Am on the bonus track edition of Warrior that came out in 2012. This is one of the most boot-stomping, just rockin' tracks of Kesha's career. I love this song to death. It took me a while to actually get into it because I wasn't listening to the deluxe edition and people were telling me, have you heard Gold Trans Am? Have you heard this track? It's so good. It's better than even some of the regular edition tracks, and I finally heard it and I was like, this is what I've been missing out on. I don't know how this didn't make the album cut. Maybe it's a bit too rocking, maybe it's a bit too out there, but I'm so glad that it did see a release because this song is Kesha at her rock finest, and I love seeing more songs like this. As we work our way up the chart today on my top 10, you will see exactly what I'm talking about, but I do think this is one of the tracks that kind of sparked some stuff that was born later in her career. See, there's a time and a place for auto-tune, and songs like Take It Off are the perfect place. It's where it all lines up and syncs up perfectly because this song has the perfect effects on Kesha's voice. It's something where it doesn't sound like, oh, this person probably can't sing, so they're just processing her to hell. It's more like, oh, we're going for this kind of dark, sinister vibe, like we're all rebels on the outskirts of town about to get into trouble and loiter somewhere. This is one of those songs that seems rebellious, and the vocal tone and the overall instrumental definitely carries that weight.
Can't imagine the immensity of the folk I'm not giving about your money and manservant at the mansion you live in. And I don't wanna go places where all my ladies can't get in. Just grab a bottle, some boys, and let's take it back to my basement and get sleazy. Sick of all your lines so cheesy. Sorry daddy, but I'm not that easy. I'm not gonna sit here while you circle jerk it and work it.
My number 4 pick today is Sleazy from the Cannibal EP. No, I am not talking about the remix that features Wiz Khalifa and Andre 3000 and all that good stuff. While I do enjoy that remix, I'm talking about the original song that Kesha carries entirely by herself, because this song has the perfect vibe for her. It has that big drum and that fat beat that's going to make her come over to your place. It's silly, it's funny, it's ridiculous, but it's meant to be. And I love how she's talking here about all of these guys that are trying to impress her, but she's like, you can't imagine the immensity of the fuck I'm not giving about all of these things. You know, you're trying to get me to come here. I want to go somewhere where I can take all my friends and my man, and we want to just hang out. Stop giving me so much trouble. That's what this song basically is. Newly reinvented and reformed Kesha? Check. Eagles of Death Metal feature? Check. Amazing song? Double check. That's right here at number 3 with Let 'Em Talk by Kesha featuring the Eagles of Death Metal. This was one of 2 features, including a Boogie feat as well on her newest album Rainbow, and this one in particular, Let 'Em Talk, is something that is exceedingly good. This song is very, very danceable. It's very rhythmic. It's something that you can let loose and shake your ass to, as obviously Kesha sings on this track. But it's not something that's so stale like most pop music is. It has a charge of guitars, it has thundering drums, and a pounding, pulsating beat. It's not so drab and try-hard like so much of pop is. It's just stabbing in the dark, trying to be edgy, but at the same time it couldn't even pop a balloon. This is pop that actually gets you out and moving and feeling good, and I don't know why that as a society we've decided that we want to feel sad with our pop music. I would like to feel upbeat and happy, and I miss about 10 years ago in pop. This feels a little bit more like this, like maybe like a Lady Gaga crossed over with Avril Lavigne, except with much more attitude, and that's what she brings with the Eagles of Death Metal on this tune. I can't wait to see more like this from Kesha, hopefully in the future.
Strung out, my heart is fried. I just can't get you off my mind. 'Cause your love is my drug. Your love is my drug.
Do not test me on this, because I will sit here and rap and sing the entire song. It's something that I really had take over my life in like mid 2010 all the way through 2011. This was my go-to. This is a song that I didn't know would ever get surpassed, and rest assured it is still very, very close to being my number 1 pick, and we'll be to that in just a second. Your Love is My Drug. If anybody remembers the Captain Jack Sparrow parody by Damn It's Good 808, I believe that was the channel name, then you are my new best friend. There's been a trend occurring over the final 3 songs on my list today, and it doesn't stop with number 1, which is Only Wanna Dance With You. It says it all in the title. These are all very danceable tunes, and they're ones that I feel like really suit Kesha's personality. Her identity is something that just fits kind of a dancey mood, even if it's a bit more serious of a topic. Not saying that this is, I just think that it really does kind of suit her. And on this track, it features Julian, and he comes through with a great feature. It's not something where he dominates, but he comes through with a great backing vocal role. Just wanna dance with you, whoa, whoa. It's smooth, it has a great guitar solo, something that at the time I thought I'd never see in a Kesha song, but holy shit, I was blown away by that. I was loving this song to death, and still, I come back to moments like this, and I think this is kind of a turning and tipping point for Kesha. She was starting to make the music that she wanted to make. She was starting to resist, starting to push the pop formula, and even though this is a pop-tinged song, it is rooted in rock and alternative, and that is something that I fully embrace. What did you guys think of my top 10 Kesha songs? These were just my personal picks, so sound off yours in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like on the video, and if you're able to, please support me on Patreon at the top link in the description down below. Donate on a monthly basis. It really does help videos like this keep coming, or you can support me on TAD at that second link. The goal this month on TAD is $700, and if we do that, we're unlocking the top 10 Sum 41 songs. You can go directly to my Patreon by tapping that annotation over in the corner, or you can see the last top 10 by tapping right here. All of my social media links are in the description, and other than that, I'll see you very soon right here on ARTV.